Man, so what? Russell Wilson is cooked. The the Seattle Seahawks traded, excuse me, the Denver Broncos traded 4 picks, 3 players for the second or maybe third best quarterback in the AFC West. Yes, for the second or third best quarterback in the AFC West, not the AFC, not the NFL. Because guess what, man? Russell Wilson is a really good quarterback. He's a great quarterback. But over the last season and a half, he's regressed. Maybe it's his lack of interest in Seattle. Maybe it was the JV offense, as Greg Olson said on Colin Cowherd's podcast, that they were running. But Russell Wilson has regressed, and now he's going to a division that was some say is much hard, is an easier division because a much more difficult division because he just left a very difficult division to go to the best division in football. But I don't know. I mean, we're pulling hairs here if we're talking about which division is tougher, because I mean, for God's sake, we had the top 2 teams in the NFC West play against each other in the NFC Championship, along with the Cardinals, who made the playoffs. So we'll see. But man, I've seen Russ cook before, and it wasn't Michelin 5-star meal. It was really good. It was great at times. You know how sometimes you know how you have that family member, right? Who, for one meal, one family function, they knocked the macaroni and cheese like out of the park. You know, they always used to help their mom out, and the mom taught them the tricks of the trade. And as long as their mom was in the kitchen, it got the job done. It was really good. And then they hit their peak, right? As they learned the recipe from their mom down to a T. And then they kept doing their mom's recipe over and over and over and over again, and we loved it. But then, that family member started to feel themselves. And he or she starts to make the recipe, his or her own recipe, and they do their own little dilly and dallying to it. And then by the time they're doing it on their own, they're years removed from their mom's tutelage. You go, this is good, but this ain't what it used to be. Yeah, you can cook better. You know what I mean? You can cook more, but your macaroni and cheese ain't what it was when you was in the kitchen with your mom. Your potato salad ain't the same way it was when you was in the kitchen with your mom. Oh my God, that ribeye over there you make is amazing. Ain't nobody got on you in a ribeye. But we don't ask for ribeye at the family function, at least not at mine. We're asking for the meals that support everybody, not just you. And that's Russell Wilson. I've seen Russell Wilson cook, and it's good enough, but it leaves you wanting more. So when I say Russell Wilson is cooked, I mean Russell Wilson is cooked not because he doesn't have it anymore. I say he's cooked because he's just jumped from a division where he finished 4th this past year in his division to finish 2nd, maybe 3rd. So, I mean, what are we doing? Talking about 7 seeds? Seattle got fleeced, but Denver settled for their second option, not Aaron Rodgers. And you remember when Jay-Z said, when the family feud, nobody wins? That's exactly what happened here. Russell and Seattle, they get to feuding. Now they separating. Nobody's going to win here. Nobody's going to win. Russell Wilson is going to go down there. He's going to compete with Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to lose more than he's going to win. He's going to compete with the young and upcoming quarterback for the LA Chargers, Justin Herbert. And he might win more early, but as Herbert gets older and more mature and better, he's going to lose more. And then he's going to be the 3rd best quarterback in the division. and he may be on the worst coached team in the division. Are we really going to give Nathaniel Hackett, just oh yeah, he knows what he's doing. Look what he did with Aaron Rodgers and LaFleur. Okay. I saw what LaFleur and Shanahan did with Matthew Ryan. I saw what Aaron Rodgers did with the impotent Mike McCarthy. Do you really think that I think that Nathaniel Hackett was the brains behind Aaron Rodgers? The 4-time MVP, the back-to-back MVP. Yeah. Nathaniel Hackett, it was him. Rodgers is nothing without Hackett. Russ is going to elevate. I mean, hell, this is going to be the third play caller in 3 years that Russ has had because he was tired of the Pete Carroll run, pass defense or offense, excuse me. But somehow, when he did the Pete Carroll run, pass offense and Pete Carroll had a good defense, Russell was more successful. You got to look at it, man. If you go down the years, Russ goes as the defense goes. Now, he makes it look a lot better. But we talk about Matthew Stafford being one of the best trailers, not a truck in the league. Russell Wilson might be a bigger and better truck than Matthew Stafford. Because I definitely think that Russell Wilson is better than Matthew Stafford. I do believe that. But he's going to Denver. He's downgrading his tools. You say, all the weapons of Denver, all the defense of Denver. Let's talk about those weapons. Cortland Sutton, his number one receiver. Over the last 3 years, what was that, 704 yards, 1,012 yards, and 776 yards. And he missed a season in between with a torn ACL. Jerry Jeudy in his 2 seasons, first season, 856 yards. Last year, he got hurt, played 10 games, 467 yards. Now let's look at DK and Tyler, the weapons he left. DK, 900 yards, 1,303 yards, then 967 yards in his 3 years in the NFL. Tyler Lockett, 1,057, 1,054, and 1,175 in the last 3 seasons. Which gun got more bullets in it? You can talk about his running back. What's it? Javon Williams, I believe his name is. Averages 4.5 a carry. Chris Carson averaged 4.4. So what are we saying here? If we want to just say that Russell went to a better city to live in because he preferred Denver over Seattle, then I got it. Let's go with it. Let's run with it. But to act like he just totally upgraded his situation and he's going to be the straw that stirs that drink, I beg to differ because on a Super Bowl contending team, Russell Wilson has never been on the best unit. He hasn't. And to think that Denver's defense is going to pick up where it left off after losing Vic Fangio, some would argue the second or third, definitely a top 5 defensive coach in this entire league, it's nuts. The personnel is the same, but the play calling is not going to be the same. The scheme is not going to be the same. The knowledge, the wisdom of calling a defense on that sideline is not going to be the same. But we're just going to insert Russ, and in Russ we trust.